the numbers don't lie. It's much better to pay into a pension than to pay off your mortgage early. But just because that's the logical thing to do doesn't always make it the right thing to do for everyone. I tend to think logically rather than emotionally when it comes to money. But I know others feel uncomfortable having debt in the form of a mortgage, and they want rid of it as soon as possible. But let's have a look at the numbers. So I was chatting to an old school friend the other night in the pub, and he told me that when he was 40, he decided he wanted rid of his mortgage. So he upped his payments from £1,000 to £2,000 a month. He was on track to pay his mortgage off by 52. He had a good job and he was a higher rate taxpayer and earned about 90k a year. If instead of paying that extra £100,000 of his pension every month, he put it into his company pension, he would have saved £400 tax each month. He'd have also had some extra contributions into his pension from his employer and saved some NI. Overall, he'd have saved over £500 a month. So over the 12 years, he would have had an extra £216,000 in his pension, and he could have used that to pay his mortgage off on the day he retired. That doesn't even account for the growth that this pension would have had whilst it was invested for those 12 years. But instead, he chose to pay that £1,000 a month extra on top of his mortgage. And for 12 years, this added up to £144,000 of additional payments. And even when he took off the interest he saved on his mortgage by paying it off quickly, he was still around £40,000 worse off than if he'd paid it into his pension instead. And this is typical of the decisions we make when we make money decisions with our emotions rather than logic and, well, a calculator. Imagine on his 40th birthday, he'd actually treated himself to an hour with an IFA, an hour with an independent financial advisor. He could have saved himself over £40,000. Now let's imagine the same scenario, but he loses his job at 50, struggles to find another one. Now, in the scenario where he's been paying off his mortgage off early, this has been a great decision. He's got a ton of equity in his property and a really small amount left on his mortgage. In the scenario where he's been paying that money into his pension instead, he's still got a massive mortgage, got much less equity in his house, and he can't get hold of his pension for another 5 years. Now he's in big trouble. What should he have done at 40? Paid an extra £1,000 into his pension or his mortgage? Or something else? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We must be deluded.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
Probably, yeah. All comments are welcome.
Yeah, we have real good fun reading through the comments. So yeah, please keep them coming. And don't forget, what was the percentage? 94.6% of you lot haven't subscribed. Subscribe.